Well, good evening and welcome to the Donna Show, the National Marathon to Finish Breast Cancer. And boy, did we give breast cancer two black eyes this weekend. We were so freaking productive and we had so much flipping fun. And it was, as predicted, the biggest love fest in racing on earth, definitely for the entire year. I don't know what's to come, but I'm sure we're kicking the can of everybody else. And if you were there, you felt it. You know exactly what I'm talking about. So we had an extraordinary weekend, so much to talk about. Tonight, unfortunately, the Donna, Donna Deegan is unavailable. She's doing worky work stuff, but we do have the queen bee of all the inner workings of the Donna Foundation, the one and only Amanda Napolitano. Hello.
Good evening, Miss Fitzkohler,
Oh,
our favorite noisy announcer.
thank you very much. That was so much fun.
It was so much fun.
I was obnoxious. Can we do it again this weekend? Can we do it again?
I mean, I usually when I finish a marathon weekend, I'm totally ready for the break. We were talking about this a minute ago. And I'm ready to just, lounge on my sofa and binge watch something brainless on TV and just really Monday morning, my eyeballs flung open at like 5:30 in the morning. I was so amped and energized and full of just doped up on all the love and the joy and the happiness and everything else, and went out for a super long run. Ran the streets that all of you ran, and just sort of channeled what you must have been feeling all weekend long. And it was just beautiful. I'm still like hyped.
Well, we predicted this on the pre-race show, but we had lots of big whoops.
We did. Lots of big whoops.
Some people say their thing is no big whoop. We were infested with whoops all
the whoops.
Yeah. Okay, so we have a lot of friends joining us. Thank goodness, friends / family, because we love them dearly. They're already starting to pipe up and say hi, which I love. Dana Costin from the Run, Eat, Drink podcast. He and his wife, Amy, host the show, and we love them. Dana was able to come. Amy was taking care of her father, who's fighting cancer.
Yep.
Which, necessary, right? She was having major FOMO, but Dana was a doll.
Listen, we missed you, Amy.
We did. Everyone who's watching, we want you to chime in, say hello, let us know. Let's start with one question, which is, what did you participate in this weekend? What was your race calendar? What did it look like? We've got Andrea. Oh, anytime, Andrea. My hands are eager for that.
Elise. Hi, Elise.
Vince.
Huntsville, Alabama.
Vince. I think Vince did Rockin' City. I get my memories become alphabet soup sometimes, but saw him recently. You didn't notice the whoops? Big whoops, big whoops all over the place.
We have to define what a whoop is.
Okay.
Oh, there's my mom. Hi, honey.
Hi. You did a good job, Janice Marshall. Your daughter's pretty All right, you define the whoops. Well, I'll bring up some messages.
So we're talking about like major fun, awesome, like it's a big whoop. It's a big deal. It's memorable. It's amazing. Not, oh, whoops, we did it again. That I don't think we're Britney Spears.
Right.
Like,
that's who did a big whoop is Floyd Crawford.
Floyd, man.
Swept. He was our 7 hour, 15-minute pacer. Is that right?
Well, Floyd, he always helps us bring that last person through the finish line, and we'll stay there as long as we absolutely can until the police tell us we absolutely have to move. But it's so nice to see Floyd come in and know that everyone that is coming across the finish line is accounted for, so that we can make a big deal out of every last person. It's very important to me.
So let's start at the end, because and Floyd is just a great catalyst for that. The end of our race, we still had a ton of people there. So sometimes when I'm announcing races all over the place for one reason or another, there's very few of us at a finish line when the final finishers come through. It's maybe a few ops people, right. 2 volunteers, a race director, and people are doing the best. They've cut off my sound, so I'm like nobody else. I'm like everybody else with my claps, but full sound, full finish line. at least like 75 people there, the volunteers, and we made the tunnel of love, and they got treatment.
It may be because, well, all of the reasons. I think that those folks that are out there for all 7 hours that this course is open, which is a very generous time, to have a marathon course open, just period.
Yeah.
But it's just been always a priority for us to make sure that everyone has an opportunity to finish. With the Galloway organizations around the world, regardless of whether you're running a 7-hour marathon or a 3-hour marathon, you're still a marathoner and still deserve all that love and support that everyone else does. And, Jeff is certainly a part of our DNA and our founding. So it's just part of our culture. We even have a 26.3 party in our Runners Village that is hosted by Jeff and Barb Galloway and by some amazing people in the Jacksonville Galloway training program. I see you, Sheena and Chris. You guys are amazing. They've been doing this for 6 years, I believe, where, there is a specific tent in Runners Village. It is there for the last couple of hours of the day. We make sure that all of the goodness in Runners Village is brought into that tent area, so that you still get a cup of soup and you still get, all the things, that everybody else has, so that you're not walking into this empty Runners Village with nothing.
Well, you know what? When I left, and I'm pretty much one of the last people to leave the finish line, other than the dudes breaking it all down.
Yeah.
And I kind of worried about Jeff Galloway, because normally I see him more regularly. He wasn't running the half. His wife Barb ran. I didn't see her come through because she came through right after Donna Deegan, which you come through to after Donna, no one's gonna, like all attention. But yeah, when I was leaving, all of a sudden I saw Jeff Galloway, and I had been wondering, where is he? And he's just, master of ceremonies over there. And they had a big old party, and they invited me in. I got a snack. That was really nice. But yeah, and they had plentiful snacks and plentiful drinks. It wasn't scraps. It was still, I think they probably stuck it out for another couple of hours.
I think they did. In fact, I went over and said hello to everybody and thanked everybody for being there and congratulated our final finishers. And then I'm out. I'm like, peace out. You guys have a great afternoon.
Yeah, your daughters had worked hard. They were ready to go, right?
Oh
indeed. My God. Don't you love seeing all these comments come up? All of these wonderful people.
So amazing. So amazing. Tabitha Harvey just piped up, and, she was one that we were cheering on last year. And it was such a special experience for her. And, her why, in terms of why she was running with her mom, and it touched her so deeply that this year she created these final finisher gifts that she put together. Yeah. So she was at the 26.3 party and gifted the final finishers some things that she had made and put together. I mean, these people, our tribe is the best tribe. I'm just saying, we have the best Donna family from all over the world that just continuously impress me.
Well, what's really funny is I am a well-known hugger, finish line hugger. I'm very gropey with my athletes around the country, and and I know who to stay out of their way, right? If I'm hosting the Los Angeles Marathon, I certainly don't get out in front of the Kenyans trying to, burn up the road and give them a hug. So I know when to mind my business, but my behavior is totally not out of turn here at the Donna. Everybody's in there. It's the most gushy, gropey, sweet, mushy group of people, and I love it. So
all the hugs, man, all the hugs.
So much. Oh my gosh, so much sweetness here. Great route. Was able to see. Was it to see his wife run 5 times? I bet she loved that.
It really is a great course for spectators. I mean, you can find a couple of spots on the course where you see your runner just numerous times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and then the Keegans. We love Jim and Pat Keegan. Jim is one of our male breast cancer survivors. Great story. He found a lump. Thankfully, his doctor didn't ignore it, and he's fully committed to the Donna Marathon and all your race weekends. And their shirt that says breast cancer does not discriminate. They're
No,
always working to share that message, which is pretty powerful stuff.
it is. Hi, Pat and Jen.
All right, so everybody's trying to get Rudy in here next year. Do you know Rudy, Amanda? Have you ever met Rudy Novotny?
I don't know that we've met in person. We're like fast friends now on Facebook and other places, but I don't know that he and I have ever. I don't know though. I mean, I've been out to Big Sur.
Yeah,
Is he out there with you?
Sure, you've heard.
Then I think we've met. It's just not
not officially.
We got to be friends, Rudy. You and I need to be friends.
Hey, okay, so I'm going to drag us out of this gush fest. While Amanda and I are talking, we want to know what you loved most about Jacksonville Jaguars Stadium, because that was a home run. I'm not sure what
touchdown.
It was
a touchdown.
It was like a victory. It was a perfect location. The expo was comfortable. It was a great temperature. It was big. You had the Jaguar slides in the back. There was room for everybody. From your angle, Amanda, what did you think about that?
It was absolutely incredible. I mean, there's these moments when, this is the first time for us. The Jags have been a supporter of the Donna Foundation for, well over a decade. So that relationship and partnership is not new. They've always been super, super supportive. But this year, opening up their home for us and allowing us to come and put the expo on the flex field and having the 5K and the Donna Dash inside the stadium. I mean, it was just epic. I mean, that's the best word I can describe for it. No one has ever put an expo in that flex field before. So it was completely new for us. It was completely new for the team at the Jaguars. And so we've been collaborating on it since the summer and, figuring out how we would make it work and how it would look and everything else. And it's one of those things where you can see it on paper and sketched out and all the things. But then when you open the doors and walk in and see it live in real person, it was breathtaking. It really was. It was definitely an upgrade from some of our previous years.
Yeah, it would be an upgrade from most people's start line anywhere on any day. Now, it's just beautiful. It's a really pretty stadium. So not all football stadiums are so pretty, but clearly the Jaguars, it's modern, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's very well planned.
Next year we got to figure out how to go swimming. We have a swimming pool in our stadium, so there's got to be some way to go swimming.
Is there a hot tub?
That's a very good question.
Okay, that's really.
We'll have to ask Jackson.
It'll be like a scene out of The Bachelor. We're all of our runners get in there and we pass around roses.
Will you bring me a rose?
Mm-hmm.
Fitz, you bring me a rose. Okay.
For sure.
But inside that stadium and your sound sounded great, by the way. We were a little worried that you were going to be all echoey and it would be weird, but it was beautiful.
Well, so I've announced in stadiums before, in arenas, and sometimes the echo just blows back and it's disorienting and really hard to function with. And it worked out fantastically. Even I hear on videos, I was crystal clear. The Jumbotron was extraordinary. So the camera guy got up my nose a couple of times, but more importantly, he finally turned his camera to the crowd and everybody was so excited to see themselves up there.
The morning of Saturday morning, I'm coming up over, if you're familiar with Jacksonville, there are 3 bridges that get you into downtown. There's a Matthews Bridge, the Hart Bridge, and the Main Street Bridge. And I was coming over the Matthews Bridge. And so I'm crossing the river, clear skies, full moon, all the stars were out. The whole stadium is lit up in pink glow. Yeah. And then, all of our logos and everything are just bright on all of those Jumbotrons. And, it was really pointless for me to put on mascara that day because by the time I got into the parking lot, it was just, because it was just so really cool.
Well, and that's the power of you. And I know you have a team, but I know you're pulling those strings hardcore. You're the race director. You're negotiating those deals. You're outstanding. I mean, really.
We do have the most amazing team ever. I mean, like I said, this had not been done before. Tiffany Davis is our event director, and she spent countless hours with schematics and collab. I mean, she met with the Jags team once a week for weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks.
Wow.
And pulled all of this together. And I could not be more proud of her and her amazing hard work. She is incredible.
Yeah, well, it was fantastic. And again, so the ultra.
Oh my gosh.
It's just, so I think some people show up, they still don't know the ultra happened. So we had our full and our half and our 5K and our Donna Dash, but there's a 110-mile race that takes place on race weekend. It begins before most people get to the start line. So we had 7 people. It was 4 men and 3 women, right? Line up, and they yelled go at 7:30. Yep. It was so cute. That's 7 of them running out of the stadium. They ran from the stadium to the beach. They did 8 laps. It was like 80 something miles on Saturday, correct?
Correct. Yep. So whatever the math is of 26.2, 110 minus 26.2, that's what they do on Saturday. So they ran from the stadium downtown out to the beach, to base camp, and then did 8-9 mile loops in Atlantic Beach. And then did the marathon, the 26.2 miles with the field on Sunday.
Now, was it only 4 people started at the marathon Sunday, or did we have more than that start?
I believe it was the 4. I know we had 4 official finishers of the 110 this year, which last year, Dawn Lisenby was the last woman standing. She won. It was so fun.
There was only one.
Yes. And we have a male, champion, a female champion in terms of our awards, right? The plaques that we do ahead of time. And so it was super fun to give her both of them. She stood in the finish line and was like, it's both of them. But then what was to me super special, not discounting, Daniel, who won, great job, Daniel. He won with a time of 22 hours, 48 minutes and 59 seconds. Amazing. But Dawn Lisenby, who came back this year to defend her title, took the female winner of the ultra at 25 hours, 49 minutes and 16 seconds. But she's also the coach for our breast cancer survivor who participated in the 110. Nancy Neff, right? She ran the marathon last year, like in treatment. Like she was finishing up her treatments last year when she ran the marathon. And we made a huge big deal of her marathon finish last year. But then this year, she's a year out from her treatment, and she finished the 110, our survivor champion, the first ever survivor participant and first ever survivor champion of our ultra, in a time of 26 hours, 27 minutes and 42 seconds. It's amazing.
It's just wild. I mean, it's a testament to what we're capable of when we want something bad enough. And that woman, she is made of steel. I've been very proud of my comeback from cancer care and that nightmare, but she really is tough stuff.
I mean, that's pretty impressive. Chris Twiggs, who is on our board and part of our founding team, and an ultra marathoner extraordinaire, also coach. He is our ultra director for the event. And I've known and worked with Chris for 23 years. And in all of those, probably 20 of those 23 years, he's been trying to talk me into an ultra. And, no.
But you're running one yourself?
Yes. Talking me into doing it. I'm like, no. Mm-mm.
Okay. So I'm going to steer you towards Route 66 in November, because they have the shortest ultra in the world. It's 26.3 miles. You leave the course, you run to this weird little place called the center of the universe. You say words and they echo back in your face, and then you get ultra credit. So
gotcha. Well, I mean, if that's the case, then I think I've done an ultra before, but I guess getting into the 100 milers is where I'd really draw the line.
Oh yeah, that's
I know, Floyd. I know.
Wacky. Okay, so the expo or the 5K was fantastic. You know what? Let's see it. Do you want to see it?
I do.
I want to see our highlight reel. Okay, let me get Floyd's comment down. Sorry, Floyd. All right. Because we made highlight reels today. This is what my day has consisted of. Ready, set, go. Okay.
Got the goosies.
So fun, right?
Oh my gosh, it was so amazing. And what a beautiful day too. I mean, crisp blue sky days. Couldn't have
Yeah.
asked for more perfect moments.
Yeah, there's just something about our events where people come and they're bursting out of their
Mhm.
skin, so much joy. Because you think about the local 5K you do, and people show up, and some dude's like, "Wah, wah," and he hits an air horn, which is gotta be the most annoying sound in human history. Why people burden our races with that? But yeah, they go and they come back and they go home and nobody cares, and everybody cares at the Donna. Everybody cares.
Yeah, yeah. I loved Andrew, who's our winner, our champion,
Oh,
coming
that
across with the whole heart thing going. I mean, he did. I mean, has he learned how to win a race or what? He's in high school. He's a
he's
teenager
he
still, yeah. And
imagine if you were
he's
a
won a few
15-year-old girl.
races now, got a few under his belt, and he's like killing the finish line shots.
Really, really sweet. And, the 5K is a lot more accessible to some of our patients going through treatment. So we
That's
definitely
true.
had a bunch of that. And that was just really special.
It was. It was. You mentioned our breast cancer patients and, all of the wonderful new research that we're seeing finally come out on paper that, keeping your body moving through treatment is good for you, that it helps with all of the things, all of the side effects, all of the nausea, all the things. And, I couldn't embrace that more. Right. And so back in October, we launched, sort of a nod to our ultra marathon. We launched the Donna 110 mile a day challenge. And we encouraged everyone just to go out and move your bodies for a mile every day. And if you do that between October, when we got started, and Donna Marathon weekend, you would collectively move your body for 110 miles, and we would honor you with an ultra marathon belt buckle medal, just like our ultra runners
Yeah.
received on Sunday. So we closed that event on Sunday night with the marathon, and collectively we walked together 20,118 miles. That's amazing.
Mind blowing.
Mind blowing. And I'm so optimistic that those of you out there that participated in that event know now I can do this. And we'll see you next year for our 5K or any of our events, because you're moving your body. So keep the momentum going, and we'll have more opportunities for you to come move your body with us.
All right. So this feels like the perfect time. Can I share my good news?
Please.
Okay. So as we talk about
Mm-hmm.
exercise, nutrition, healthy lifestyle, making you, far less likely to be diagnosed. But if you are, it makes you far more likely to achieve remission and far less likely to have a recurrence. So my brand new books, they just arrived today. I got the very first copies of Your Healthy Cancer Comeback, Sick to Strong. And I'm so proud of this. So people know I'm a noisy race announcer, but I'm also a highly credentialed fitness expert with a master's degree. And when I went through my breast cancer treatment, I had 15 months of chemo, 30 rounds of radiation, surgeries. I did the treatment triathlon. And when I hit rock bottom, which I did at some point, just because it was so much. And my rock bottom looked like skeletally thin and dreadfully weak and fatigued and all the stuff. I knew how to dig my way out of that hole. I had no doubt in my mind that there were healthy, vibrant, athletic days ahead, that I was going to get back to normal and better. But at the same time that I was feeling real confident as a fitness expert, I just had that ache in my heart for all my peers, my fellow cancer patients and survivors who had hit rock bottom and had no idea how to dig their way out of that hole. And they didn't even know how to slow the decline. Because there's stuff we can do during treatment to slow the decline. Yes, some of it will ravage us eventually, but you can fight back along the way. So this book is the guidebook, the manual. It's the absolute blueprint for people of all types of cancer, going through chemo, radiation, surgeries, extra care. We talk nutrition, exercise, mental fortitude, which is a very big deal. We talk about nutrition. you can make your body a hostile environment for cancer. There is no one ingredient that will cure cancer, but can you eat nutritious foods that will help your case and prevent infections? Heck yeah. I've got chapter 8 is everything exercise. So there's photos and, it's all the regular exercises, but say you can't stand up. Okay, well, there's dozens of exercises you can do in a chair, and then exercises you can do in bed, and then stretches for the shower and things to do in the exam room. So I'm not going to eat up as more time with this, but this right now in paperback is available at fitness.com. And anyone who buys this and uses the code Donna15, I'm going to donate 15% to the Donna Foundation. So thank you for letting me share my good news. I'm very excited about it.
Congratulations, Fitz. That's amazing. Amazing. And I love that you included the mental piece in there. Because I thankfully I'm not a member of the club, but right. having stood by Donna as she, experienced her third diagnosis, and knowing her so well in that moment when she, looked at Tim and said, "You're going to have to teach me how to live." All of that was the mental piece. She had pretty much nailed in the first 2 sessions all the physical pieces, right? And getting out the other side of that. But it was really that settling into the fact that I have a choice every day. I can wake up and be fearful, or I can wake up and choose to be, full of love and gratitude for this day that I have, made one of the most, transformational, moments for her, in her cancer journey. And she will really credit that mindset and that mindfulness as to her being able to be cancer-free now for 16 years.
So the first chapter is called Control. And that's it. It's that mental fortitude. It's perspective, passions, positivity, remembering you can do hard things. I mean, it's not complicated, right? But it's vital. It sure is. So
well, and it's intentional, right? It doesn't just happen because it happens. I mean, you really do, it's a choice, and it is an action that we all take, and it helps all of us, regardless of what you're going through.
Well, I hope so. I hope everybody take control what you can. Okay. So, we also had the Donna Dash.
Yes. Oh,
Donna Dash, 1 mile, very doable.
Yes.
Filled with families, filled with children, and then filled with survivors. Because again, cancer care is really hard. Some people can go do a marathon during treatment, but that 1 mile for some of our athletes was a really big deal. So you ready to see it, Amanda?
I am. Show me.
Here we go.
I love the babies. I love the babies.
So edible. It's interesting. We see the parents bring their kids out and they feel like, oh, it's just a fun Saturday. And it is, but that is actually how you set your children up for a lifetime of athletic adventure and healthy habits. You just keep showing up and introducing them to new things. And as we know, it's really hard to join a cheerleading team when you're 36, right? It's hard to find one, but you can always show up and do a race. You can walk, you can run. It doesn't matter to me what distance you choose, but this is the lifetime sport.
And did you see those babies' faces when they saw their faces on the Jumbotron? Oh my God.
Well, the babies and then the grown-ups too, man.
Well, yeah, the big kids and all of us going, I'm on the Jumbotron.
Yeah, and both of them.
Yeah.
Both of them. And can we pause for a second? I just want to give another bit of credit for everyone who was in Jaguar Stadium on Saturday morning. When you heard the anthem, go ahead and tell our anthem singer what a wonderful job she did. Because Denise Street, when she started singing, she got hit with the echo, and I had had time to warm up to it. She didn't. She just got on that microphone cold, and I saw her face, and I thought, oh God, don't forget the words. I was willing, but she didn't forget anything.
No, she did a fabulous job.
Yeah, she was. I heard she left semi upset because of the situation, but she did a wonderful job. So if you heard that anthem, let Denise know what a beautiful job she did.
And you're invited back, please, next year, Denise, to sing again. She's like, they're never going to invite me back. Well, you're officially invited back. We will see you February the 3rd, 2024.
Fantastic. Yeah.
Put it on your calendar in Sharpie pen.
Poor girl. That is the most difficult and important song to sing, but she hit it out of the park. Okay. What else was I going to show on Saturday? Oh, I think we should mention for those who came and joined Destination Marathons. That was a wonderful partnership, and they're fine gentlemen running the show, plus Carolyn, but they did a fantastic job booking the tours for the athletes who chose that route. They had all of their accommodations taken care of, their meals. It was really fun, and they raised a ton of money Saturday night for the Donna Foundation.
We did. I'm so appreciative. Mark Janik and Jeff Lax and the team, we've been collaborating for a year. I mean, they were here last year. They came and ran and kind of checked everything out and fell in love like everyone does when they come and run a Donna event, and said, we have to bring people back here. And so they did. Yeah. And we had an amazing group come together and we had the pasta dinner on Saturday night and a silent auction for the Donna Foundation. And, we still need to do some audit number figure things with some of the costs that are associated with some things. But, sort of gross fundraising was in the $20,000 range. And that is super significant for us to be able to fuel our important programs. So I could not be more appreciative of the DM team. They did a fantastic job. They hosted our shakeout run. That was the only rainy moment we had of the weekend.
Right. Which, if you got to sacrifice something, that was the perfect place to do it.
That was it, right? Our little shakeout run on Friday morning was a little damp, but outside of that, the weather really did do some pretty miraculous things for us.
So Nick Bull, shout out to this guy who's been coming year after year. He flies in from the UK to do our races. He's such a delight. So
thank you, Nick.
Joined us. What was the other thing? Oh, I wanted to mention how much I love how accessible your special guests are. So we had Jeff Galloway, which everybody loves. He's the founder of the Run Walk Run method. And then Joan Benoit Samuelson. She's a running icon. She's a legend. She's the very first woman ever to win the marathon in the Olympic Games. Why? Because they didn't allow women to compete in the marathon in the Olympics until 1984. But she's number one, and she's won Boston twice and many other spectacular events. And in the senior division, she's won as well. But she was just out there meeting everybody, as was Jeff. And it's all very accessible to our athletes.
Joni, Jeff's a streaker. Jeff's been coming since the very beginning. And Joni is close streaker. She missed a few years around the pandemic for all of the obvious reasons. But she has been just a faithful supporter of the Donna Foundation from day one. Dear friend, super fun. And she loves the sport more than anyone I've ever met.
Yeah.
So she loves it.
Yeah, she was she a really, really sweet, neat lady. That's the first time I've met her. Jeff and I go way back. And Barb, can't forget to mention Barb Galloway. I think she's the best star of the show. I love Barb. But yeah, it was just nice for everybody to have an opportunity if they wanted to meet Joni and wanted to meet Jeff. And Donna, of course. So yeah, really accessible race weekend. All right, can we talk about our marathon and our half marathon Sunday?
Please.
What a perfect day. It was PR weather.
It was beautiful weather, in particular in relative to what we experienced last year.
Yeah.
But what I don't think people understand is that, we had this beautiful marathon, half marathon weather day where, the temperature stayed, mild. We had a cloud cover all day long. We had humidity, so we did have to deal with some Florida humidity. But we kept our sweatshirts on all day. So it was really very mild. Just off the coast, we were tracking a storm that was pretty ugly. And what I understand is that in town, so the marathon and half marathon takes place on the island over the Intracoastal Waterway Bridge, right? So on the other side of the island, on the other side of that body of water, throughout the day, the fog burned off and it was hot. I was told that, the blue skies over the ditch, we call it the ditch, over the ditch, and that it really warmed up and became a pretty hot day. So
We don't have that.
we didn't have that.
We don't have a storm or a hot day.
Nope. PR weathers, for everyone. And yes. Yeah, I get so many compliments on that. It's so funny. Way to go on the weather. Oh, you're welcome.
You got to start there. Plus, it's Florida. And I hate to say we're better than everybody else, but I kind of think we are. I mean, this is why we live here, right? Our weather's perfect. But to have your marathon in February in the northern half of the state on the ocean, it's perfect. It's really
It is. Well, that's why we chose it. I mean, our average temperatures this time of year are generally in the mid 50s, which is perfect. And we just got blessed with that perfect Florida weather day for our marathoners and half marathoners.
Yeah. So everybody showed up with their game face, their happiest, biggest, cheeriest game face. Again, I love our race mornings where people just show up in there. Yay, I'm here. It does. If anybody's nervous, you can't tell.
And I don't recall there being any stress. Like I wasn't getting calls about traffic or issues with our shuttles. I mean, not one call did I get all morning about those sorts of things. So if it happened, please let me know, because I don't get any reports of that at all.
No, it was clockwork.
So yeah, logistics worked out as planned. Our amazing public safety teams from all of our beaches, municipalities, and JSO as well seem to have orchestrated everything beautifully out there.
Yeah, it was perfect. And again, just so joyful. Everyone was like, yay, we're running a full marathon. No big deal.
Good job, Veronica. PR. Woohoo.
That's good. You know who else PR'd? Babs. She got a half marathon PR.
Her pictures are so fun. There's a reason she PR'd. She was having a blast. Those were some of the best race pictures I've ever. I always look like grimacy and stuff, but she was looking just gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous and joyful.
Yeah, she came through. She doesn't ever look like she's working that hard. She just apparently works. There she is. Woot! We're giving you the woots too.
Woot woot, Babs. And to PR after working as hard as you did in the lead up, because she's president of the D Squad. So she's orchestrating all of our ambassador team and all of the meetups. She was, one of the hosts for the shakeout run. She's, an ambassador for Destination Marathon. So she's, having, some jobs there. Was helping Lindsay Hine with her meetup at Taco Lu on Saturday, which was super fun. I mean, she was everywhere all weekend long, on her feet, doing all the things. And then to go and throw down a PR on Sunday is pretty impressive.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So I want to re-mention the two boys I brought up on the stage before we started, because I do think they're reflective of the reason we all get together, right?
Right.
So on Saturday at the expo, this 3-pack of young men, college students, hunky, cute boys, they walked by me and I thought, well, that's interesting. And they just, even though we have a little bit of everybody participating, 3 college boys walking together, if it was that LA Marathon or Gasparilla, I wouldn't have thought anything, but I thought there's something there. So they walked by once and then they came by a second time and I said, excuse me. So what are you guys running? We're doing our full, 2 of them are doing their first marathon and their friend was doing the half. And I said, what brings you here? They're from Virginia. And the 2 running the marathon said, well, we're best friends and we lost both of our mothers to breast cancer when we were kids. And So I said, well, tell me, how old were you? And so Chris Matney was 9 when his mother passed, his mom, Karen. And I just asked, I said, what was your favorite part about your mom? And
Mm.
I'm sure he could have gone on forever, but he said that his mom made him backpacks when he was since preschool. She handmade backpacks.
That's amazing. Go, Karen.
Yeah, I mean, when I thought I was going to die from this disease, I was afraid to lose my own life, but dramatically more fear for losing time with my
Absolutely.
kids. So
100%.
Karen, right?
Hmm.
And then I asked Josh Buckley about his mother, Sarah, and he said she was just the sweetest person and doting and cared about everybody. And she said that her death would not be in vain as long as she steered someone to Jesus Christ. That was important for her. So they were just, and this is not okay that kids are losing their mothers to breast cancer. So
Right.
I hope everybody continues to revisit the Donna Foundation and donate $5, $10. There's an opportunity to donate every month and to prevent kids like Josh and Chris from being sad for a long time. I think that's
Mm.
a worthy effort.
But what a wonderful, tangible way for them to be able to celebrate their moms together, right?
Right.
To give them, a purpose, not only just the day of, but they trained for this marathon,
Yeah.
right? So, gosh, what a wonderful tribute to those moms.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah. And I targeted every survivor out there, but at some point, oh my gosh, I worked so hard. It's a tiring day. How many survivors participated this weekend, Amanda?
302
Spectacular, right?
that self-designated as a breast cancer survivor in registration, right? So this as well as I do, that
Right.
many survivors, have this, well, I only had, it's sort of like when a half marathoner says, I'm
Yep.
only running the half. There is no only in half marathon, right?
Right.
It
Yeah.
is a half marathon and it is epic and amazing. Similarly, there are a lot of survivors that well, I didn't have as much of a challenging protocol or what have you as
Right.
some others, so I just I don't deserve. I
Right.
mean, that's the word I hear, to
True.
check the survivor box, right? So I think that we had a whole lot more out there than what
Right.
would share on the registration form, but 302 officially.
Okay, 302 officially, definitely more. But as I was chasing people down to recognize hopefully 100% of them, I was thinking, how many of these people are the children of, or the parents
Right.
that have lost someone or the spouses? I met quite a few
Mhm.
husbands who had recently lost their wives. So, if you're watching, it all matters, right? We're fighting not
Mhm.
only for the people with the disease, but to prevent the hearts breaking for everyone surrounding them too. So, we have a lot of fun this weekend, but the cause couldn't be any more serious, right?
Yes, for sure. But there's hope, right? We're curing people every day.
Ah,
You're here, Donna's
yeah,
here, right? There's so much exciting things happening in research. We're really getting to a place where it is individualized medicine. It is empowering immune systems. It is trialing various vaccines for various different types of breast cancer, where HER2 positive is no longer, a horrible disease to have. Triple negative, is something that we're starting to learn a whole lot more about. I mean, it's we've just come a long way. There's definitely hope.
yeah, yeah. Well, it's so funny with her too that it obviously is scary because it's so aggressive. But when I was told I had it, they were like, "Oh," I said, "Well, is that why it's spreading so fast?" And they said, "Yeah." They said, "Ah, but the kind that spreads really fast dies really fast." And I was like, "Oh,
Okay.
okay, that sounds great."
But
So,
Fitz, that wasn't the case 16 years ago.
right,
I
right.
mean, when we launched the National Marathon to Finish Breast Cancer, the protocol for HER2 positive and Herceptin and that whole advancement in research that Dr. Edith Perez was a part of had just happened.
No.
My friend Christy, who you met, Christy, along the way this
Oh,
weekend.
yes.
She's serving on our board, a dear friend of mine. She was diagnosed. She was in her 30s, and her daughter was a toddler, and she had her too. And the doctors told her that she had, months. I mean, that it was very terminal, very, very quickly. And so she enrolled in Dr. Edith Perez's trial for Herceptin. And here we are, 20 years later, and she's still my best friend. And so thank you, advancements in research, for saving the life of one of my dearest friends on the planet.
Absolutely. And the people that come out to support, so it's Dr. Perez, there's Dr. Donna, who's a breast life specialist. Not only is she, the doctor, but she's a cancer survivor and a heart transplant 2 years ago. She's run 2 Donna marathons since her heart transplant 2 years ago, which is magic. Dr. Sarah Chumsree.
Yep. She and her beautiful family were in our recap of the 5K. Yeah.
Yeah. Dr. Barry Lusky. I don't know if you got to meet Barry, but his wife, Debbie Lusky, they're from Savannah.
Okay.
And they've run a couple of my other races. So I'm pretty sure I bullied them into coming. And so I didn't know what I met Barry for the first time. So Debbie, we were chatting and we were talking about Debbie's cancer. She's 6 years cancer free, thank goodness. And I said, Barry, what do you do? And he said, I'm an oncologist. And I said, okay. And I as I poke and prod and ask these inappropriate questions, sometimes I said, what was it like for you when she got diagnosed? And they're 6 years out, and he just about burst into tears, choked it down. But we have a bunch of people that are very tightly intertwined in this breast cancer concern. And I'm grateful for it. They're motivated. They're motivated to do good. Okay. Do you want to see our highlight reel from Sunday, Amanda?
Please.
Okay. And as we watch this, I want everyone to tell us what your favorite part or parts of your Sunday events were, whether you cheered or ran, whatever it is. I want to know what your favorite part is.
Oh man, Donna was given a big whoop at the end of that video.
There's lots of big whoops. Okay, so we had all 50 states represented and 11 countries, I was told.
Yes, that is accurate.
Magic.
And we raised a lot of money too, Fitz.
Yes. Tell us our fundraising total so far.
Yeah. So far, because we still are going, right? We'll have all of our fundraising efforts going through the end of February. So a lot of you run on pledges. So, continue to collect on your pledges for your, 13.1 or 26.2 and all the things. But on Sunday, we surpassed $250,000 in fundraising. For all of you amazing people who choose to fundraise, we don't make it mandatory because we want to be very inclusive. We don't want to have any barriers to coming and participating. So, but really thrilled to have that kind of effort with our fundraising. And, we got to talk about Megan.
Yes, please. On my list. Go for it.
Yeah. And our charity chaser who, our 6-time female marathon champion who opted
You won it
to
6 times.
Yeah.
Why do you know it was 6?
Yeah. So she's, marathon champion, right? That opts to start dead last on Sunday. So she was the very last person to cross the start line, and we did wave starts, guys. I mean, this was not like, everybody crosses the line in a minute and a half. It was a solid 10 minutes before she started the race.
I think it was 15 minutes, wasn't it?
I mean, somewhere in there. It was definitely not 1 minute. It was many minutes.
Yeah.
And so she passed, let me get the number specific for you. She passed 2,760 participants, wow, raising $1 a runner. Thank you, Puma Running for sponsoring Megan to do that for us on Sunday. She had a really good time. She was running with her friend, Ben Johnson, who had, did you see his bell?
I did not.
He had a little bell, a little hand bell.
Did it?
That way he could ring it as he was coming up behind you. So you sort of knew what was happening. Mm-hmm. So if you heard a bell and 2 people ran past you in the race, that was what that was. That was Megan passing you to earn $1 for the Donna Foundation. Yeah.
That is, yeah. And she passed a lot of people. What was her time?
That is an excellent question. I will tell you what her time was, but I will tell you that her time technically was a 3rd place overall in the half marathon.
Yeah.
But because our overall, for you race nerds out there that are with me on this, for overall placement in a marathon or half marathon, it is gun time, not chip time. Because strategery is important, right? You need to know, who you're running against and everything else. So chip time, she was 3rd overall, but gun time 9th for the women's field.
Well, I'm sure she is more than happy to give up that 3rd place trophy in honor of physically contributing almost $3,000 to the cause. That's incredible, Megan.
Exactly. She's a very generous person. She and Thomas with Believe in the Run are huge supporters of the Donna Foundation and a number of their grit series. If you've not ever heard of that, definitely worth a check out. They do a winter grit series and a summer grit series. It's a virtual series, but it really empowers you to get the miles in the hardest parts of the year to train in the heat of the summer and in the gritty winter, which for me is hysterical because I'm like, yes, it was 60 degrees in Florida today. And, someone in Minnesota is like, it's -20.
Yeah. So I wanted to reference a couple of people we saw on the video. So Black Girls Run brought a small army of 17 women from South Florida, from my hometown, stomping grounds, Corey, Rodney, and her girls. And there were 6 of them running their very first marathon, and they all finished. So
they had so much fun. Happy birthday, Corey.
Yeah, she was sweet. Corey and Rose, and I think it was Bridget, literally from the city I grew up in South Florida. If anyone else is out there, big shout out to North Lauderdale. Neither here nor there. And then there's this guy, Rob, from Eggleston, from Gainesville, Florida. And he runs around my town dressed as Thor. Every time he goes running.
I was wondering who Thor was.
That's Rob. And he also has a podcast. I can't remember its name. But yeah, so he runs around here just for exercise dressed as Thor. And so again, I've been promoting it. So I was like, you know what, I'm going to come. And that was the first time I got to see him at a race dressed like Thor.
So, I mean, he's like any random Wednesday, you can see him running through the neighborhoods and he's full on dressed as Thor.
He is the god of thunder.
That is amazing. I'm going to need to figure out how to be some kind of, I don't know, Wonder Woman is my shero from when I was a little girl. Maybe Maybe all of my training runs from here on out, I should dress as Wonder Woman.
You know what is so funny? I'm looking at my drawer. You know, I announced the Wonder Woman run series.
I know you
do. I
did.
have
I
any
know.
Wonder Woman? Oh,
You need to send me some Wonder Woman
my
stuff.
life, Amanda. You want one of these?
Oh my,
Right.
yeah, I kind of sort of do. Yeah, I'm gonna have to do that.
Send me a picture of you running in a Wonder Woman outfit. I'll reward you.
I have the costume. Don't think I don't have the costume already.
I'll
It's in my closet.
Put it up. Okay. What else? What else would you like to chat about? Is there anything else you'd like to share? Folks, this is your time to dump on the comments section. Tell Amanda what an incredible job she and Donna and their team did putting this weekend together. It's a whole year of activities, a Fearless series. In fact, how about that? Can you tell us about the Fearless series and what we have to look forward to?
I can. So we have 3 official Donna events for our Fearless series for 2023. We have Happy Thursday. I love it.
Sure.
Of course, Donna Marathon Weekend kicked us off this year. And our next up is the Black Knight Donna Mother's Day 5K. So this is Mother's Day weekend right here in Jacksonville. It's a 5K. It's on Saturday, May the 13th from Black Knight corporate headquarters in beautiful Riverside. So if you're familiar with Jacksonville, we enjoyed our beautiful downtown and our beaches. For the Mother's Day event, we're going to enjoy our Riverside area, which is along the St. Johns River. Very beautiful tree-lined streets. We'll probably incorporate some of the river walk in that 5K this year. It's going to be a lot of fun. Sold out last year.
Yeah.
We celebrate every mom. So we really lean into our moms that are living with breast cancer. I think, the Donna Foundation, as you know, supports families that are having to choose between putting food on the table for their families and going to treatment. So, moms are making some really difficult decisions out there that way. So we want to lift up all the mamas and celebrate them and celebrate our survivors at Mother's Day. And then last but certainly not least, in October, this just in, Saturday, October the 7th, the first Saturday of October, mark your calendars. That is when we're going to be doing the Donna 5K on the back 9 at TPC Sawgrass. So the beautiful, stadium course where the Players Championship is played down in Ponte Vedra. So another wonderful way to come and see what Jacksonville has to offer in terms of that part of Jacksonville. Down in Ponte Vedra is gorgeous. So registration will open in a few months for that event. For those of you curious, you don't have to register for anything separate for Fearless. It simply means that you've participated in all 3 Donna events. So we'll figure out that you've been registered for all 3. We have special, wonderful databases that tell us that. So you don't have to check a box or register for anything separate. It just means that when you show up in October and run our event at TPC Sawgrass, you will get your additional medal and be honored as Fearless on that day. Yeah.
Nice.
So if you've already run Donna Marathon Weekend, go ahead and jump into Mother's Day while the registration fees are low, right?
Yeah, well, this is the best time to do it. It's funny how many people wait. I think what's the percentage of people who register for a 5K in the last week? It's like 50% or more.
It is a whole lot more than that on a 5K. It's as a race director, it really, really makes my job super duper hard.
Yeah, because then you got to figure out how many medals do I order? What size shirts do I order? Folks, just register right now. Just register.
Why don't you have a small?
Huh?
Oh, I don't know. You registered yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
What are you going to do?
Oh, it's so good. And that's another really fun event. Such a love fest. It doesn't look like your local 5K. You come out and it feels like something special.
Indeed. That's what we do. We're Donna used to say, we're Avis. We try harder.
Is there a virtual option for the Mother's Day 5K?
Yes, there is, Andrea. So both options are open right now. So yes, if you can't make it all the way to Jacksonville, then by all means participate virtually.
And they can go straight to breastcancermarathon.com to find that registration link?
Yes, and you'll be looking for the Fearless series drop down so that you see the 3 events, and then it'll link you out to our special Mother's Day page.
I know who's not good typing and doing this. It's me. Oh, Lord, here it comes. Okay.
Good job.
Thank you.
No typos. It's all good.
my big effort for the evening. So $250,000 raised, thousands of happy athletes that are healthier for this experience, so much love generated, so many patients supported, and research funded.
Mm-hmm. Celebrating 20 years of service through the Donna Foundation, which is, I can't believe it. But, over the course of those 20 years, 17,500 families served, $4.9 million in financial services for those families, and $3.3 million to research, and over 150,000 athletes and friends celebrated through Donna finish lines.
So
those are incredible, fun stats to think about over the 20 years. Yeah.
A life well lived, Amanda. You and Donna and your team have done extraordinary things. Yeah, serve so many people. Thank you. Thank you very much.
It is the joy of my life.
I know it is. And your cute little girls come and support you, and your hunky husband. You got all the Napolitanas out doing good with you, and Tim Deegan.
So fun. So fun. My daughter Ella, she launched a breast cancer awareness club at her high school, and their club checked all of your gear on Sunday in Runners Village. So she actually worked longer hours than I did on Sunday. She had to report to her post at 5 a.m.
Wow.
I didn't have to report. You and I met, 6:15? And she worked until, almost 3:00.
Wow. Well, she's a little winner, that one. She's adorable and a hard worker. That goes a long way.
Yeah. And Anna my youngest wore her Donna sweatshirt to school, and came home and said, people asked me, did my mom run? And I said, my mom runs the show.
Oh, that's right. Well, my kids say my mom runs at the mouth. So my big thing. Well, listen, it was an absolute pleasure. Thank you for having me back. I have so much fun, and I feel so connected. And you know what? I'm going to give you the compliment of the year. You ready for this?
I'm ready.
I love that your organization has no mean girls. No mean girls.
No mean girls.
No mean girls. Everybody's so flipping nice, Amanda.
No mean girls.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. You're banished from the Donna Nation if you're a mean girl.
Right. It's kind. And I'm grateful for it. Yeah, it's a real.
That's because we're choosing love, right? I think that mean girls come from a place of fear. Right? There's something going on that person is just super fearful of things, and we surrender fear. There's no fear in our world. We replace that with love, and that just makes for a very different culture.
Yeah. Well, it's special. It's very special. And if you're out there watching and you've not joined us, well, duh, what are you waiting for? You got to register immediately. When does registration open for next year's marathon?
We are actually working on getting registration open within a couple of weeks. We're going to be working on a survey. We'd like to get your feedback. So please be on the lookout for that. We never make them long surveys, but it's super important that we hear from you. And on the back end of that survey, our goal is to have a bit of a discount code and an early entry into the Fuller Half Marathon. Okay. So go ahead and get those open. The marathon sold out. So marathoners, learn a lesson here and jump in early.
That's right. All right, Amanda, I'm going to kick you out. I'm going to make you go to bed. You're eventually going to have to sleep.
I have on my sloth pajama pants already.
I'm not looking so cute from the waist down either, but the beauty of broadcasting, right? Yes, maybe marathon next year. That's all
right, Kristen. We'll train together, honey.
I'm looking for you. All right. So on the way out, I am going to replay our video from the full and half marathon, because don't we want to see that again?
We
do.
For
Donna Deegan and Chaz and Amanda and myself, we love you all. We hope you connect. Follow them on social media. Follow me. I'm at Fitzness. And we'll see you in May at the Mother's Day race. Get to work, team. Bye.
Thank you, Fitz. Thanks, everyone.